Welcome back, friend. I am excited to be joining you with another video today here at Simply Living It. I hope you're having a wonderful day where you're at. It's been a long time since I've sat and actually shared with you what a lesson from Campfire Curriculum can actually look like for your family. If you're new to homeschooling, if you're new to Campfire Curriculum, the unit study idea and method to homeschooling your children as a whole, that is what we do in our homeschool and how we thrive here in our home and have for many years. And I've shared that with you guys so many times. If you're a new homeschool mom, if you're not quite sure what Campfire Curriculums is all about or how their unit studies work or are meant to work, how they are laid out, how they are all inclusive, how there are extras and resources, it's different. There's a lot of words, there's a lot of information, a ton of information. No worksheets. What does this look like? How do we use this? It's different. It's meant to be. It's supposed to be. That's today's video. I hope it's helpful for somebody out there who may be a little bit confused or new to this homeschooling thing and wondering what her options are as a homeschool mom. I hope this video is helpful for you. Campfire Curriculums, 50 States Geography Study. I'm partnering with Campfire to bring this video to you today, and I want to share with you the things that I love about this specific unit and how I plan to incorporate it in our homeschool. We have used quite a few different unit studies from Campfire Curriculum since they very first came about. I think the very first unit we did with them was either the square foot gardening or the professional chef. I think it was the gardening though. Love that unit with my boys. I loved what we learned. I loved the engagement. I loved the in-depth part of planning our garden together as a family, learning what plants are companion plants to plant next to each other and what things you shouldn't plant next to each other, as opposed to just going out and planting a garden with my boys and not knowing all these things. Like, we learned so much and had such a good time. I have a video clear back where I shared that unit specifically, and the boys and I loved it. They were so little and our life looked so different at that point in time, but still what we learned in that unit stuck, and we actually were able to go out after learning about it. We were encouraged to go out, like design our own garden, plan our own garden, where we want to plant certain things, what we want to grow, what matters to us, what's important, getting a designated space. We built our own garden beds and we planted our garden together. That was something we did, and we had so much fun doing that. Everybody does them a little bit differently. I love with Campfire Curriculum that there are no worksheets, and that's done by intent. Diving into the 50 States mini unit with my boys, again, I will just be homeschooling my two younger boys. I will have a 10th grader and a 7th grader, and we are using Campfire Curriculums, the geography unit, to pull in so much rich content that we are going to dive into. There's a storyline that goes along with this specific unit, and you can totally skip that if you want. Just like anything that you bring into your home and your homeschool, you can make it what you want it to be. With this U.S. geography course from Campfire Curriculums, you are getting in each state famous places, different landscapes of that specific state, what the political climate is like, diving into the culture, the history, the cuisine. Just a little unknown tidbit about me: I absolutely love donuts. Donuts are my favorite, and going through Maine, the very first lesson, as I'm looking through this unit, there is a fun little tidbit at the end where we can make donut holes as a family. Donut holes are my favorite, and it's the silliest thing, but it's little things like this that I love incorporating into our homeschool and our journey. Is we get to learn all about this state. We get to learn all about its landscape, what this state is known for, what people love doing, the history of that state. Then we get to hop in the kitchen and make something together. And I love that it just happens to be donut holes to kick off this unit. Just looking through this unit, there is so much content and so much information. It's broken down into 2 different lessons because there is a lot of information. There is a lot of reading, but it's meant to be. That's how it's supposed to be. These unit studies are not something that are just a quick open and go, sit and read and chat for a little bit, and then you close your book and you move on. No, these are done so well and so thorough. Each state is broken down into 2 parts. There's a part 1 and a part 2, and this can even be broken down into days. So it can be day 1, you're going to cover part 1. Day 2, you're going to cover part 2. Again, make it work for your family, for your homeschool. If there's information in here that maybe you didn't want to cover or something that wasn't necessarily the avenue or the direction you want to go, you can skip over that. There is so much information for each state. The way that it's laid out, the way that it's done for us homeschool families is truly incredible. It's very rich and there is a lot of information. Sometimes it might feel like there's so much reading and so much to say, but it's meant to be that way. Everything you need to do a rich, deep dive into geography of the United States with your children in your homeschool, Campfire has done that hard work for you. I'm very impressed with the way this unit looks. I can already tell you, just by looking at this, reading through and learning about the 50 states from Campfire, these specific units are going to be one of the highlights of our homeschool year. Each unit that Campfire has created has a link or resource page with links to extra book list recommendations that they have, custom picked videos, different resources, cool teacher moments, different things that they have available to us moms at our fingertips as well to just expand on everything that they've already done and created for us. So with this specific unit and other Campfire units as a whole, they have a color-coded system where depending on your child's age, there's information that's broken down and is age appropriate. There are times where maybe your high schooler, you want them to go through absolutely everything, but maybe your kindergartner isn't quite ready for that. Campfire's made it easy to where you can just kind of look at that and see, okay, this is more in depth. I want my high schooler to read this, or I'm going to read it to my high schooler, but my child, my younger kid, my kindergartner or whatever, can go off and do their own thing now while we dive deeper into all the content that Campfire has offered with your older kids. So that's a nice thing too, because unit studies are meant to be done as a family style learning. So sometimes some of that information can be like with the Holocaust. Some of that information wasn't necessarily stuff that I wanted all of my boys to hear at the same time. And so it's wonderful that they have color coded that to make that something, hey, be aware, this might not be suitable for all ages. Go ahead and read through it first. Then you make the decisions for your family instead of just opening it and trusting that everything is going to work for everyone and fit for everyone in your home. I love that they kind of take that moment and catch your attention with hey, just be aware, proof some things before you read it to all of your children, or this might be over your child's head. So skip that with your youngers, but dive into it with your olders. That's something that I value that maybe not everybody necessarily thinks about, but it matters to me. I value that they take the extra time to give more rich, in-depth information, and then you can tailor it as to how you need for your home and your homeschool. Have a more in-depth writing or journal prompt or a couple questions to ponder and answer for your high schooler, where obviously that's going to look different for your younger kids. So that's what I like too, where we're homeschooling many different ages. Right now, it was different when I had our son who we just graduated from our homeschool here too, because we were homeschooling all 3 boys, and now we will be homeschooling 2 boys. I will have a 10th grader and a 7th grader. I have 3 specific Campfire unit studies that we are going to bring into our homeschool this coming year. We will do, like I said, these geography 50 states studies. I will be doing those with my boys, and I will also be incorporating the financial stewardship course from Campfire as well into our home for this upcoming homeschool year. This more in-depth look at Campfire and how you can make it work for your family. I hope that it was helpful, maybe to somebody who had never even heard of their program before, never heard of their unit studies, and maybe somebody who is new to the entire idea of Campfire. Or maybe, like some of the mom friends that I've run into, how do I make it all work? It's different. It is. Giving you all the information and all the work to be able to make this your solid core curriculum, no matter what age your kids are, but up through high school. That's the goal, is high schoolers are able to achieve the credits that are required for graduation. That's the goal. That's their standard with Campfire, and you're able to do that with what they have created and designed. And then if you want to add in the extra resources in the resource page, boom, that just expands to a whole nother depth and a whole nother level. Again, unit studies, you can custom tailor fit them to your home and to your homeschool, just like you can with any other thing that you bring into your home and your homeschool. Everybody will do it differently. The information is here. The research has been done. It has all been provided for you through the unit study. Now it's time for you to open it up and implement it in your home. I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to get my boys some nature journals so that they can have their own books and they can do their own journaling while I sit and read to them in our living room. That's one of my absolute favorite, most cherished times in our homeschool. And I'm here to say that yes, I have a 10th grader and a 7th grader, and we are still doing this. There was a season where I felt like unit studies are slipping away. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to incorporate them in our home anymore. I'm not letting that go. We are incorporating them in our home. We did it last year with a senior and a freshman, and we're doing it again this year. Let's dive in. Let's take a deep, deep look into this and study and culture and state parks, and let's make recipes together. Thank you for joining me for just kind of a brief overview, taking it back to the very beginning of homeschooling and diving into something a little bit different. Maybe for those of you who are new to homeschooling, I hope that this video was helpful. Incredible resources, incredible units that they've created for us homeschool families, and I'm glad that I got to share this one with you today. I will catch you in our next video. If you have not already, please subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.